Every day, students walk into Illinois classrooms carrying more than backpacks. Some carry experiences that most adults would struggle to process, and yet we ask them to sit down, focus, and learn.
This is P4R Signal. I'm Karen Holloway.
And I'm Andre Mitchell. Today we're talking about what it actually means to build a trauma-responsive school and why Partnership for Resilience exists to help districts do this work.
Research tells us that adverse childhood experiences, what we call ACEs, are far more common than most people realize. Abuse, neglect, household instability, and community violence. These experiences physically change how a child's brain develops.
And that shows up in the classroom. A student who seems defiant might actually be in survival mode. A child who can't focus may be dealing with toxic stress that makes concentration nearly impossible.
For years, schools responded to these behaviors with punishment, suspensions, detentions, expulsions. But we now know that approach doesn't work, and often makes things worse.
Trauma-responsive schools take a different path. Instead of asking what's wrong with this child, they ask what happened to this child, and how can we help?
Partnership for Resilience works with school districts across Illinois to make that shift, not through a one-time training, but through a sustained partnership.
Districts get coaching to build resilience teams, groups of teachers, counselors, administrators, and staff who lead the transformation from inside the building.
There's professional development that helps educators recognize trauma, regulate their own responses, and create classrooms where students feel safe enough to learn.
And there's the peer network. Districts in the partnership learn from each other, sharing what's working, troubleshooting challenges, building something together instead of figuring it out alone.
That community piece matters. When I was in schools, the hardest part wasn't knowing what to do. It was feeling like you were the only one trying to do it.
Partnership for Resilience talks about the whole child, and that's not just a slogan. It means recognizing that academic success depends on a student being healthy, safe, engaged, and supported.
That's why the work connects schools with health providers, social services, and community organizations. Because a school can't solve food insecurity or housing instability alone, but it can be part of a network that wraps support around families.
This is happening right now in Southern Illinois, in Springfield, in the south suburbs of Chicago. Real districts seeing real changes, better attendance, fewer behavioral referrals, stronger school climate.
And educators who feel less burned out, because they finally have a framework that matches what they're seeing in their classrooms.
We're in a moment where student mental health is in the spotlight. Districts are being asked to do more with less. Educators are exhausted.
Partnership for Resilience doesn't add another thing to the plate. It changes the plate. It's a different way of seeing students, responding to behavior, and building school culture.
And it starts with a simple belief. Every child can thrive when they're met with understanding instead of punishment.
If your district is ready to explore what trauma-responsive education looks like in practice,
visit partnershipforresilience.org. Learn about the initiatives in Southern Illinois, Springfield, and the South Side. See what other districts are building.
Because no school has to do this work alone.
And no child should have to carry their trauma without support.
This has been P4R Signal.
We'll see you next week.